No, no, no.
Does it seem strange to you guys that like somebody like Emmy, who got so much attention last episode, we didn't see jack shit from her today?
Because she wasn't a focal point of the episode.
She was the focal point of an X Factor recording that's been making its way around Twitter. How do you guys feel about that?
Oh, Lord. You know, and I said this, I'm all for accountability. Hold people accountable. But don't oust Emmy and then have Jordan on a season. If you're going to ban people across the fucking line.
There's a problem with that, though. There's a problem with that, though.
What's that?
Money. Some controversial figures bring in more money. And as long as it's not sexual allegations, you can
tell that to D.
You can kind of like turn your eye. Does D bring in that much money, though? Does she?
No.
Does she really, like...
I'm just saying overall, like, I don't care about... It's about consistency. And they're looking more and more hypocritical as it goes along. Do I say Emmy is wrong? I don't know. I didn't watch the X Factor clip. I know that in a lot of ways, people from other countries don't understand the context of that word and what it means to us or to people of color here. I'm not excusing it, but when they are from a completely different country, I kind of say they need more education. Because I just don't think they understand what that word means and what the history is behind it.
Now, that may be the case, but I'm not going to be too quick to give her a pass on that. I'm just saying.
So I'm not giving her a pass. I'm just saying that that's something to be put out there as well.
I didn't see it because I stay off of Challenge Twitter during seasons.
It's not on Twitter. I think it's on Facebook.
Well, but wherever. But so she said a racial slur.
Yeah.
Like during her like song.
She was singing the song with.
So she didn't
the N-word in it.
She didn't do what do they call those clean versions for the clean version, right? Yeah. Okay, all right. That's interesting. You know, here's the big thing, and this isn't like I'm not like favoring this, but the challenge historically, Bynum Murray, I guess whoever production, MTV, they're kind of sexist. Like men kind of get away with a little bit more than women, as long as it's not sexual allegations, mind you, because sexual allegations, there's never been a guy that's been brought back after those. No, but a guy
who just got brought back after sexual allegations.
No, guys. I'm saying that's the one thing that keeps guys like permanently pushed away. Are those things. But other than that, if a man and a woman both kind of have something racially come up, to me, I would believe that the man is going to end up eventually coming back before the girl does. That's just kind of how I've always seen things. I'm not saying it's right, but historically, that's what we've seen.
What I'm thinking, though, I think you're bringing up the Tanya situation with Evan and Kenny and Bear. Well, Bear's kind of out there, but I think Bear is just way oof. But anyway, I trying to think that if it hadn't been a situation where MTV and Brimmer were sued over the situation, and then there was, payouts and, all that stuff, settlements made, do you think that Evan and Kenny would have returned?
Well, if there hadn't been such a big if there's no lawsuit, then there's no allegations, then there's just allegedlys.
Well, I mean, people were talking about this is not just one season. This is a series of sexual misconduct carried on by
that could have brought those two back.
Like Bear, that thing happened off the challenge, and I don't think Bear will ever be back at all.
I think Bear has done other things too to kind of perpetuate it and to keep it going, versus like apologizing and trying to. He's too busy. Like, did you guys go on his, like, I accidentally went on his page because he showed up and he has literally a video of him getting fellatio by a girl on his Twitter page. And it's pinned.
That's what he does.
And I'm like, ew, so you're a porn star now?
I think he's an addict. To be honest, I'm not like trying to like excuse him, but I think he's an addict, and he actually like, I think he. It's weird to say suffering, but I think he actually does suffer from being an addict to like sexual contact. I do. Like
I feel like he has gotten away with so much.
Why'd you say wow, Malik?
Yeah,
I mean, I never really even thought about that, but
like,
I mean, that could be the case. He could just like what he does, but I don't really know.
I think he's so high on his own popularity and his self. He really has such a high opinion of himself that he feels like he can do whatever he wants and there are no consequences. Because at the end of the day, he should be in jail for what he did to Georgia.
The only reason that you record yourself is because you're interested in seeing what you're doing, which means you have interest in the activity and then you have interest in watching said activity. And having others watch it. I think that's where I think maybe he's an addict, you know, and he needs help. Yeah. We'll never talk about it that way because he's a guy, and we'll never like say it in that way because that would only bring some bit of positivity, like comeback story on him, and people don't like that in that situation. I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying that it is. Sorry. You know what? We've been rambling on about things and everything, and you know what? You wanted this to be let's hit all the details of this episode.
You really opened a big can of worms, Malik.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Anyway,
we're all doing great.
Exactly. Let's go ahead and jump into this episode.
Can't. Sorry.
Nah.
We just did a cut. But I want to say something. I went back through, and I don't know why, but I was like, I'm going to go check out some old comments because I just haven't done it for a while because I've been busy with my new job. And one person was like, I'm actually here for Tyler because he keeps it real. And it was like, it made me so happy because that must have been the episode that I was like, nobody's here for me. They don't give a shit if I'm here or not.
I think so too.
And he was like, oh, he keeps it straight. He doesn't blur the lines. He's just like, it's this or that. And I was like,
and you know what? I actually feel the same way. Is why I always felt like, ever since you sent us your first voice recording of the power rankings, you know, you've always been a good fit and you have your own unique view, which is also cool. Because I remember early on, you know, we'd get some real, you know, people comment and it would be like off the wall shit about, you know, you guys should do this, and you guys should do this, or why don't you drop this person or that person? I was like, that's some fucking bullshit. We're a cohesive unit.
They wanted me gone. They wanted me gone for the longest time.
Tucker, get her out of here.
Not just you. It went both ways, but let's go ahead and move on. Let me go ahead and bring in the episode.
Everybody's always loved you, Malik. What are you talking about?
He's not talking about him.
No, I have been canceled on Twitter before. I've gotten into my own shit.
Twitter, not
but like
podcast.
And Antonio got his fair share of shit.
Well, it was always me and Antonio. They were always like, fuck Antonio and Becky.
Mostly.
I love Tyler and Malik.
Yeah, but as soon as like Antonio went to that wrestling show and those gray sweatpants, he didn't have any more haters.
Damn you, gray sweatpants.
He knew what he was doing when he was doing that. He knew it.
All right. Let's go ahead and bring it in. What's really good, Posters? Welcome to another episode of Love, War, Challenges. I am MTV Malik. He is Tyler at Lord Louder. She is Becky at Giftmaster Bex. What's really good? Gang, 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 gang. Thank you guys for staying with us. Gang, gang. Thank you guys for staying with us while we touch over some of the top moments from today's episode of MTV's The Challenge, Spies, Lies, and Allies. What's really good with y'all? Anything shaking? Anything? Oh my God, what is that?
It's not a cat, so it's okay. Oh man, I just said something that people are going to hate me for. Uh-oh.
What, how ugly the dog is?
No, I just said at least it's not a cat.
Don't fuck with cats.
Look at how cute he is.
That dog is hideous.
He hurt you.
It is.
Did you
He's
hear
staring into your soul, dude. You said that.
He hurt his feelings. Nico, who's there?
Does he have a tick on his ear?
No. What do you mean he has a tick on his ear?
I think it has rabies.
He does have rabies. He'll bite anybody who tries to step into my house. But look at how he protects me.
Filthy beast out of the frame. What's the dog's name?
Nico.
Oh, yeah, Nico.
He's my little old man.
How old is that dog?
He's like 10.
Oh, yeah, he's old.
70, jeez.
Mm-hmm.
He's 70 in dog's year. All right. So today's episode of Spies, Lies, and Allies, we were treated to some good, some bad. I think this episode is probably going to go down as probably one of the more forgettable episodes. Even though there was a couple of cool moments, a couple of shitty moments, let's go ahead and jump into some of the A-block drama. One of the first things we noticed is Amanda has not received the most or a warm welcome to Team Ruby. Most people think she's shit. And she feels like since they think I'm shit, I'm going to actually be shit. Does it surprise you guys that Team Ruby is actually taking a stance when it comes to their new teammate, Amanda Garcia?
Amanda comes with a bad reputation. I mean, it's something that's always kind of carried with her. As much as I hate to agree with Nelson, she does have toxic mannerisms. And she has gone out of her way to make life more difficult for her partners. I think it's dumb. I think that she has come to this challenge with a different mindset. I do see a change in her. So I think that they should have given her a chance before they just kind of written her off, because she could be a really great asset. Even if she's not the strongest, she's got a lot of brains.
Okay, and Tyler.
I'm very surprised. I don't know, but like I've always been in this situation where I've always been a fan of Amanda, like because I think she plays the game very well, but she's not afraid to she's not afraid to play the game how she wants to play it. Like she doesn't like tailor and cater her game to the way other people think or act. She's like, this is my game, this is how I play it. And I've always respected that because I feel like so many people are so quick to like fold in this game, and like sell out friends and to like, just as we see later on the episode, the people are talking and it just keeps happening. She doesn't ever get, but then again, she doesn't ever get like hungry for that win. She doesn't seem like a person that does want to win at all. She seems like a person that she enjoys being in the environment of the challenge and like playing the social game, the behind the scenes, the political game. Yeah, but she's not there for the dailies, but that's okay. Not everybody can be there for the dailies.
Yeah, I don't hate Amanda, but she's not my favorite challenger, mainly because of how she approaches these games. It does seem like a vacation. It does seem like a chance to hang out with some of the friends she's made while there. Team Ruby isn't excited about getting Amanda because there's nothing exciting about getting Amanda. She's not bringing a whole bunch. She does bring a exciting component to the social game, but it hardly helps. It's not going to help you win. No. She's good for TV. She's good, she's interesting to watch, but she's not really bringing any aspects that's going to help her win. Even though she always has a social game where she stirs up a lot of shit and gets a lot of negative attention, it hasn't done shit for her challenge career so far, so there's no reason to think that it's going to do any better now. She
doesn't come across as a champion. Like, you never look at her and you're like, I can see her as a champion. Like, I can never see her. She's like a Ryan, She's like, good in some aspects, good for TV, but could never really see being a champion. Wouldn't mind getting spoiled on that, but just looking at it right now, I'm not saying I'm not saying people don't spoil me, but I'm saying I wouldn't mind being wrong on that. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I feel in that one. Let's go ahead and move on. Yeah, trying to find the right euphemism without sounding fucked up when I say this. But
I know what you're going to talk about. Oh God, here we go.
The thing about it is, there isn't really anything to talk about. It's really Tori gets impaled by Vlad the Impaler. Tori and Emmanuel finally, the hookup we seen coming a mile away. She go ahead.
He was just snaking some pipes, man.
Yeah, snaking some pipes. She got some Romanian trouser snake. Yada yada yada. 100 other euphemisms we could use to soften it up. And you know what? The funny thing is, we've seen it coming from such a mile away. It wasn't really a big shock when it's happened. She's already a couple of relationships removed from Jordan. She already got the Fessy thing under her belt.
She's a couple of hookups away from him. I wouldn't say relationships. Granted, I'm not in that generation that considers hooking up a relationship. But
I don't think anybody in this group is a part of that.
No,
group.
I'm not saying we are, but I'm saying younger generations probably like if I was like 21 and in college, maybe I would think, oh yeah, we're in a relationship. No. You know, but like she's had a couple hookups. Sorry, I'm not like saying you're wrong, but I'm just.
I got you.
I don't think she's actually moved into a relationship to get away from the American version of Emmanuel.
Yeah, but nobody thinks that this is a real relationship.
It's a hookup. It's a
hookup.
Casual.
Season 40 might be the engagement.
But here goes the thing is, I am not interested in this at all. I'm really not. There's really not a whole bunch to discuss here. Emmanuel seems like a nice enough guy. He definitely got the European vampire thing going about him, which, I guess some girls are into. Not really my thing, but there's really nothing to discuss there. I think people will use this as a segue to talk negative about Tori. Yes. Oh, Tori's this, Tori's that. And I think that's a problem because she's not in a relationship. She's not seeing anybody. There's no reason why this should be looked at as anything negative. These are two grown people having fun. And where the fuck are they at? Where are they filming this?
Oh, God, Croatia?
Yeah. Who gives a fuck?
Is that right?
They're somewhere in some foreign country playing a whole bunch of games, trying to win a whole bunch of money. And I feel that the only thing worth talking about with this is that, people are going to use it to pretty much call her, oh, look at Tori being a whore again.
Look at Emmanuel being a whore again. I mean, he was all about Amanda when she was there. Whoops. Amanda. He was. Why did I say Amanda? He was all about Michelle when she was there, and then she left, and now he's on to another one.
Well, let's just be honest. It's an incestuous group at the end of the day because Michelle hooked up with Fessy, and then they had that hookup, and then he was back with Amanda.
It's a square.
And it's just at the end of, so Michelle was with Emmanuel, but then she went with Fessy, and then I see
what production's doing. They're trying to get us another Love Pentagon. I see you. I see you, MTV.
They're trying their best.
Everybody's going to be 6 degrees removed from each other at some point. It's such a tight-knit group. They all date amongst each other to some degree. So
what is this like? What is this like? The 7 steps of Cory? Since Cory slept with everybody.
You're in a house.
You can always trace it back to Cory.
With attractive people. And you don't really have a lot of options. You take what's available. People have needs, female and male.
I've got to say, Facebook challenge fans and Twitter challenge fans, you guys have all got to be excited. You had to be glued to your TVs because here's what I know. Who cares about the dailies? Who cares about the finals? We're all here for the fucking and the drama. That's why we watch the challenge. So you guys, if you're not happy with this episode, get the fuck out of here. Because that's all you guys complain about.
Here, he says.
Man, I haven't logged into Hub Challenge for a while.
Challenge Hub.
I can't with you, Tyler.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on. Moving on. Before we get to the daily, we get a scene of Cory and Nelson, and they're talking, and they're feeling the heat. It's going to be a guy's day today. Emerald has been winning anything, and it really clicked for me. I mean, I've been talking all season how Josh has thoroughly impressed me this season.
Uh-huh.
Josh has been playing the best game he's ever played, and all reality, he's probably playing the best game in the house, outside of a CT and Casey, who they're riding along, but they have way less of a spotlight than Josh.
I think
me, that's a win.
I think Devin's playing the best game.
Devin's there too. They're all playing a great game, but you can expect a great game coming out of Devin and CT. Yeah. Casey, she has a real low-key game, but at least she's getting far. But for Josh, this is really well. And as they were talking, I realized something that I didn't realize before. It's not so much that Josh is playing the game. For people like Cory, who has been to several finals, who's been doing this for a long time, for people like Nelson, who's an elimination beast, who's been doing this for a long time, they're threatened by Josh. Josh is 100% a threat, and they are feeling it. And that's what they're talking about in this A block. Josh is as a threat.
I think Josh is playing the game really well. I feel like this is going to bite him in the butt, though, in future seasons. I think that he is proving to everybody else that he is somebody who is snaking people, who is going behind people's back. And obviously it's great for his game today. I don't think it's going to play out well. I think it's going to end up in the future and in future seasons, if he comes back, that of course he'll come back because the production loves him. People are going to start targeting him early, I feel.
Okay,
but he's kind of playing like he's playing like a mafia boss type role right now. Like he's really taking after like a West and a Bananas type of gameplay, like a Mark Long type of gameplay, where it's like, yes, I'm kind of running things, but I have all these people in front of me that are better than me, so you're gonna want to target them before you're gonna want to target me. In Survivor, they call it like using meat shields. You know, it's like distracts people with like these big old meat, you know. And yeah, I think he's playing a fantastic game right now. He's playing really smart. However, Becky's right. It's going to bite him. But here's the thing. If you can sell out for one season and get a victory, who cares? Like once you're a champion, who cares? Because you don't need a lot. You just need one. And then you're good. Like,
yeah. And you're in a elite class. And I'm glad you said that because I'm inclined to agree with you. Josh is playing like somebody who's been playing this a whole lot longer. He's playing like somebody who's been doing this for 8, 9 seasons and haven't won yet. And they're just like, you know what? Fuck it. This year we're getting one. And he has all of these relationships that he's willing to say like, hey, these relationships are cool and all, but I got to do what's going to get me to it. So that means you don't get to come along, then hey, you don't get to come along. So he is playing a very good game. The problem is he isn't in his 8th, 9th, 10th season, you know, and you know he's not some type of journeyman. This is going to hurt him. If
it's 5,
it's 5. 5 is a lot, but it's not enough. 5 is 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So the reason why this is going to hurt him is because he does have some good relationships, but they haven't been going long enough for him to kind of burn in any context. Anybody who feels burned by him now are going to come after him. If he doesn't win this season, he probably never will.
You know what though? Huh? He doesn't burn his female alliances though.
No, his female alliances are in place, and those are
the way he's going after Ashley,
Casey,
though.
Nani, Amanda. That's his like 3 top girls.
Yes, and they're powerful, but the thing about it is they can also get knocked out too. And from what it looks like in the next coming up season, it looks like Tori may be on his ass too. And Tori also has a lot of friends. The problem is, if he doesn't win this one, people like Cory Nelson, Tori, he may not even keep this Big Brother alliance intact. This is probably going to hurt him a lot more than it's going to help him if he doesn't win this season. If he wins this season, it was all worth it. People will actually kind of understand that. Hey, at least it got you to a win. But if you don't, now you burn them for what? You burn them for 4th place?
As long as he makes a final, I think it's a successful season.
I think so too. But if he doesn't win, he won't win one.
Probably not. But then again, we say that all the time, and like the challenge caters to people they like, and they can say they don't, and fans can be like, no, but they do. And you know, Josh is really liked by MTV and by Viacom. Really, that's what it is.
I don't understand why.
It seems like everybody fucking hates him.
Josh was in talks to get back on when they did like Big Brother All Stars or whatever. I don't know. He was going to be on it, but he just didn't do it.
No, he tested for COVID.
Oh, that's right. So he was going to get brought back for an All-Star season, and now he's playing on a show that is essentially All-Stars versus new people almost every season, and he's an All-Star for the challenge. Technically, once you come back. But I mean, this show brings people back all the time, but he's like I'm trying to think of like he's like a Cara. Like Cara first came on and she was on for like 8 seasons in a row. Like Sarah, 8 seasons in a row, and like Cory, you know, he's gonna be in this role where he's just I think he's gonna be a mainstay for a long time. I really do, no matter what. And so he's gonna have more opportunities. It's not sad though. He's good. He's good for the show.
You're right. It's not sad because as long as people get on social media to talk about how much they hate him, it's drawing attention. They're drawing attention. If people are going to tune in just to root against them, it's attention. There's no such thing as bad publicity. So
I mute my TV whenever he comes on.
Not everybody. Not everybody can be a face. Some people have to be heels. That's how these things work.
And guys like Josh, guys like Kyle, guys like Devin, you need them in the middle. They're going to keep things entertaining. And, you can't just have, we can't have, 3 bananas, 4 Carvers, 6 CTs. It's not going to work that way. So, and they all bring something to the table. Let's go ahead and move on to this daily.
They're the fluff.
Today's daily challenge is called Sunken Intelligence. And this whole thing was, in my opinion, a fucking disaster. It looked hard. I'm pretty sure it was one hell of, something they really had to compete for, and it looked super difficult. But the challenge made the mistake of this was in water, it's a sunken ship. They had to get the case with the emerald in it, but it wasn't visually appealing. It wasn't a whole bunch to it. They did have the timers, which I love, and they did help, but this wasn't it. And Team Emerald gets a huge advantage by having more people. Again, them having so many people is a problem. I did love the whole Amanda's not helping, doing the Titanic thing. That was cute and all, but this daily was almost completely forgettable. What was your guys' take on today's daily challenge, Sunken Intelligence?
I would have preferred it if it would have been like individually done. So like there's like, if you would have had 6 rings to get unknotted and you'd have had to send out one person at a time to get it done, I think that would have added a better element because they could have focused on an area better. So the camera would have been better. Cause like when we seen, I'm trying to think of like Champs versus Stars had it they were in a swimming pool, like underwater pushing a ring through, and you could see everything perfectly fine because they could focus on one person at a time. There wasn't like chaos going. So that would have been better. I mean, this is a one and done type of daily, and it never will come back. But I think if they would have broke it down individually, then yeah, the camera could have been a lot better. The camera could have been better, but it just wasn't for a show that is like overproduced. This was an underproduced daily. Like it was under their standards.
I would agree.
I agree. Honestly, I was sleeping through most of it. I literally was like, I was sleeping with my eyes open. The only parts that were interesting were Ashley making Kyle shit his pants when she said it's not going to be a good day for Kyle if we lose because it means he's going in. It also was funny watching her yell at him the entire time, even though he wasn't doing badly or, she was just way confused. And honestly, Amanda entertained me because she was literally like, she kept telling them, what do you want me to do? Where do you want me to go?
She was the best part.
And I've got to say,
she could have used
this.
her brain at any moment and chipped in to help out.
I think she's like, if you guys aren't going to make me feel like a part of the team, then, F off. But it's
not about her. It's a guy's day. Just go in there and help out to the best of your ability and shut the fuck up.
But the guys should have told her they were like, I'm getting so mad. She's not doing anything. Then tell her to do something. You're just going to sit there and watch her do stuff?
Why does she, see,
if you're a team,
my problem with Amanda.
If you're a team, act like a team. It's about communication. They weren't communicating
it's about her too,
with her.
Though. What about her communication?
She did. She was trying to talk to him. I'm not saying she didn't make a shit effort, because I do think she did a shit effort. I got to say her body is A1 for having a baby. Well done, Amanda. You are looking amazing. I don't like you as a personality, but I think you have a great... It's just fun sometimes to watch her. And I think she played it up. She had fun. She's like, y'all don't want to include me then, and you already talking shit? I'm going to be an asshole. So that's...
So Amanda isn't growing on you?
Sounds like she is.
A little bit.
So.
I am kind of enjoying her character this season. I guess we'll kind of find out kind of how I feel like she's growing as a person, because the attacks are a little less personal. It's a little bit less personal. See this? By this much.
Well, listen, Emerald gets the win, And they only get it by a little bit because apparently Ruby was close, which makes Cory and Nelson feel some kind of way. As we talked about earlier, they already feel like they're going to be threatened. We go ahead and move on to Club Night, and Club Night has the ability to make some of the best and worst parts of the show. Because we see Cory go up there and just slob on Josh's knob just for any little bit of information and just to feel a little bit safe. And Josh strings him along. Let me tell you something. Josh knew that it was going to be Cory from jump. At the beginning of the day, when he woke up and was putting on his socks and doing whatever, he knew that Cory was going to go in. I knew Cory was going to go in. It was the obvious choice. Slight chance that it could have been Nelson, but Nelson isn't looked at as much as a threat as Cory is.
I mean, he's been laying the groundwork for a couple of episodes where I see Cory's name repeatedly get brought up by Josh.
Yeah. And I just thought it was totally beneath Cory to go up there and just talk to Josh. I get that they have some friendship there, but I don't know. It was every time it reminded me of seeing Anissa go up to like Laurel and asking to be safe next episode, and Laurel just like, God, you're terrible at this. And that's how it made me feel, and it made me feel bad for Cory. And I thought it was pathetic. What was your guys' take on Cory's groveling?
I mean, I agree with you. There's really not much to say that you didn't already say. I honestly prefer the heated Cory to the whiny, crying, begging Cory.
Any day of the week. And Tyler?
I mean, this is par for the course. This is how Cory plays the game. This is who he is as a character on the show. He's always like this. As soon as his name is called out, he kind of like whines, but then he tries playing it off cool, but then he like complains, but he's cool about it and everything. And it's like,
whatever, I don't care. Whatever, I don't care.
It's like, yeah, it's like, but it's like he puts it on himself, and I don't know. That's just how he always is. He's always like this. He's always like, he always plays this like victim role, but he says it in like such a way that it's like it's whatever. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and complain about it. I'm already in. I can't do nothing about it. I'm gonna go get ready. Josh, why would you? You said you wouldn't. Josh, you just told Nelson to shut up because you weren't gonna fight about it and everything, and like, and you got but so it's.
I mean, he did bring up valid points with that though, with that fight.
That doesn't matter. Valid points mean jack shit in the challenge. They mean nothing. Like, hey, you owe me. You're right. I do owe you. You're right, but not now. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah, too late. I'll get you next season.
Sorry, you didn't claim your coupon before the daily started, so it's invalid.
Let's go ahead and jump into Team Ruby decided to sit Amanda down and talk about her behavior. Yuck. That conversation. Now, listen.
Oh Lord.
I'm not the smartest man in the world. That conversation went exactly how I thought it was going to go. They tried to talk to her, and they did try to put a little bit of the blame and try to get the best out of her. That conversation went exactly how it was supposed to go. Amanda got defensive and really shitted on them both. And Team Ruby themselves and Amanda both look pretty fucking shitty. Did you guys think that Team Ruby handled that in the best? Who do you guys feel like is more at fault? I feel like they're both fucking idiots, but what were
everybody
your guys'
but
take?
Amanda.
You think Amanda got the better of that exchange?
I don't think Amanda was in the wrong for any of that. Maybe instead of after the challenge, be like, you need to try harder. Maybe before the challenge, when Amanda joined your team, hey, you know what? I know you're on our team, and people are saying you can't do things. We believe in you. Let's go get this W. Let's crush Team Emerald. Let's send them into, let's be motivating. Right. Let's be a team before you lose. Don't be crying over, spilled milk. Is that what it's called? Or soured milk? Well, I don't know the phrase. Milk. But don't be spilled. But don't be crying after the situation. Prevent the situation. And then if it happens, now you have something. But you ostracized her. You pushed her aside, told her she wasn't important by not talking to her. And then when she doesn't do what you want when you don't want her, now you're mad at her because you want her because you need somebody to blame. It's just they don't understand. And here's the problem with team challenges. we don't have a lot of good team players that go on the challenge. They're a bunch of individuals, a bunch of duos, a bunch of trios. That's it.
Well, but these are the dynamics that make the show the show. So
exactly.
It's not always a bad thing. Becky, what was your take on how that whole thing played out during club night?
I mean, they all looked like idiots, even Amanda. I mean, she just looked very childish in the way she handled it. She's like, I'll play for the other teams, fuck you. And she's screaming she's just acting all crazy. But at the end of the day, they were acting crazy too, because they shouldn't have, the way they approached it was completely wrong. The way they approached it was accusatory. You didn't try hard enough. You didn't do this. Instead of saying, we need to work as a team, we need to figure out how to communicate with each other. What did you not get when we were in that whole thing? Like, there could have been other ways of doing it. It's called a compliment sandwich, guys. Start with a positive, you bring in the negative, and then you end with a positive, and then everybody's happy. So I think that at the end of the day, they all look like morons, and they all just don't know how to communicate with each other. I think it's just too much testosterone, it's just all over the place. Ego. There we go. That's what I was looking for. I'm sorry. There was just a lot of ego everywhere on her side and on their side.
Question. Yes. What's the benefit of her winning a daily challenge with Team Ruby? What does she benefit from it? If she's openly willing to help other teams win, why would they send her in? And what are they going to send in Big T and she's going to call it Amanda? I think she's pretty safe. Well,
I mean, it's I think Amanda's just talking to talk. I don't think she'll actually throw a mission unless they really push her to do it.
She already did. She did today. They said, don't do anything. And she went, all right, I won't do anything. Instead of being like, no, how can I help you? She just went, all right.
It's not my job to force myself on you.
But listen, Tyler is 100% right. The girls sitting on Emerald team don't want the other girls who's not sitting on Emerald team to be anywhere near the final. If they want anybody to make it, it would be Amanda or Big T. The girls are only concerned with really getting Ashley and Emmy out because there's no other threats. Then it's just them. Then they're just competing against each other exactly how they want it to be.
And if Emerald wins on girls' days and they want to target Amanda but keep Amanda in, all you got to do is send in Ashley. Once you send in Ashley, Amanda's safe for another girls' day because Ashley's not going to call her out. So, and like realistically, and then you do the next time if Emerald wins, you send in Ashley and she's going to call the other girl and not Amanda. So Amanda is playing this game because despite everybody that's watching the show, we're not all diving deep into this. Amanda's one of the most safe people in this house. The only way she is at threat is if Sapphire wins. And then one of those girls Casey calls her out or Tori calls her out. But from what we know from them, they'll call out Big T first.
Yep.
They'll call out Nani first. Even though Casey won't. But even though they say, they'll call out people that they know they can beat in most things. So she's pretty safe right now for a person that is consistently on the wrong team.
Now, someone who's not safe is going to be Cory, who gets voted in during nominations. Now, this nomination was actually one of the bright spots of the episode. You got CT making his case about he doesn't want to be anybody's hitman, and, he's been doing good with keeping pretty much the house cohesive. And I love how Amanda just called it out. Like, you're just afraid to go into elimination. Stop being
Ashley said that.
That was Ashley.
Yes, Ashley. She hit that one right on the nose. But for the most part, unless CT is getting voted down there, and most of Sapphire is fucking shook of putting CT down there. Because if he wins, which there is a very solid chance that he will be going right to Team Emerald. And actually, that's not the worst thing in the world, because if he does, he would probably just take Emmanuel's spot, and then that team becomes even a bigger behemoth than what it is. I don't know why they don't do these things. Team Emerald is mind-boggling.
Because Tori's hooking up with Emmanuel, so she doesn't want Emmanuel gone. So she's got to protect him at all costs. And Casey and Nani want to protect Josh at all costs. And Devin, I don't know who's protecting Devin.
He's just riding it out right in the middle.
Because he's friends with Tori, he's friends with Josh, but he's nobody's number one on that team.
No, but he probably has some backup with Kyle a little bit, and him and Cory have history. But which we see here after the nomination. Exactly, we see Cory just go right at Devin, as if Devin facilitated that whole thing. And Devin, and I actually, and even though Devin is full of shit a good amount of time, I actually believe him a little bit that, like, dude, I wasn't the one gunning from you, but Josh wanted to keep somebody safe. And really, when you break it down, Josh has the power. Josh is great with Nany. He's great with Casey. He has Logan protecting him. He wants to protect the people who's going to protect him in the long run.
I 100% believe that the reason there's a vet alliance is because of Devin.
Oh, I would actually see that.
Devin set up this whole thing. And the reason why I say I can say that confidently is because he went and is teaming with Big Brother veterans. So, like, if he's squashing with people he doesn't want to work with, he set this whole thing up. So for Cory to go at him, that makes no sense because I 100% believe Devin wants to get out Logan and Emmanuel before he wants to get out a vet. He does.
I believe that too.
Well, I mean, 100%. he went after Devin and Josh pretty equally, I think. I think what he was trying to tell Devin is, you fucked me, I'm going to fuck you. Trust that. That's what he basically said.
Devin called it out right. He's like, if you're going to make threats, you do it before the vote. Yeah. Not after.
He fucked up on his what is it? Like his strategy and his
and the thing with Cory in eliminations is Cory's no slouch in eliminations, but he's suspecting them. So he may not be a problem, and he's a strong guy.
I mean, up until this season, he hadn't been eliminated in eliminations since Vendettas.
I was going to say, he's got a pretty decent...
This is a long track record, but the only reason he got eliminated is because he had to play a sport he'd never played before.
Soccer?
That's
soccer.
But that's it. But that's the only thing, though, because like if that would have been any other elimination, then it's like he could actually do something. But he had no idea how to kick a ball. Like, you can't. I don't fault him for that, but yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't he blindfolded or some shit too?
No. The ball was on fire, and they both kept missing, and Cory almost made it with Nelson in goal. And then what they did is they said, all right, whoever gets it whoever can make it with no goalie wins. And Cory's ball fell short by like a couple feet.
Who was the one that kept kicking it over? Someone kept.
They both did.
They both were. They were both terrible.
They were overshooting. It was like,
that is one of the most legendary, embarrassing elimination performances.
I would have eliminated both those guys in like my first 3 kicks. Like, they would have been like my first 3 kicks. They would have been done, man.
Most people would have, which is the funny part. But this is the magic of the challenge.
And I haven't played soccer since I was 9.
Kicking a ball is not as easy as people think. It's a lot more difficult. It's not just running out there and kicking a ball. It's harder than you think.
You know, it's all about angles.
So, Cory has been compromised. He is going down into elimination. And it's pretty easy to decide who he's going to call out. I mean, he already seemed so offended that he's going in and Logan is still out and about. So I definitely feel where he's coming from with this one. He comes down, he calls out Logan. They're going to play the game. The game is called Rope Burn. Now, we've seen something like this in the first, I believe it was the first War of the Worlds. It looks like the one, War of the Worlds 2. It looks like the same one with Josh and Jordan. And you can tell by Josh's face, he's like, yeah, this shit looks familiar.
He actually said that. He said, this reminds me of my elimination with Jordan. And then they showed PTSD. Team Emerald. And then Tori went like this. Tori didn't move. She didn't flinch. Nothing. She didn't react. She kept as like straight a face as she could. It was like the least Tori thing she's ever done.
Wait, wasn't that elimination right after that one that he proposed to her?
No,
he proposed after he beat Theo.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Or
Idris.
I was like, oh my God.
It was after.
She'd have PTSD too.
But I was telling Becky earlier when you just disappeared, Malik, because she kind of said the same thing. It's a little different though because they had a lot of slack on that. Yes. Where this didn't have as much slack, but.
And I really feel like this one hurt it. So the name of the game is called Rope Burn. They're both standing on these circular spheres with small fire ring about it, and they got a 50-foot heavy rope. You know, one of those battle ropes that's lit on fire for no fucking reason at all.
It got blown out as fast as it's like a 5-year-old birthday candle.
Absolutely. And
that guy had fun lighting it though. I gotta say, he was really. I kind of liked the guy who was lighting everything because he made it real dramatic. And I was like, yeah, do that.
And I get why they do stuff like that. But it's pretty much just a game of tug of war on top of the sphere. So it's balancing, it's strength, it's endurance. Pretty good elimination. I felt they were way too far away. I felt like we would have gotten one that was going to be a lot quicker, a lot more brutal. And I really felt like you might as well have brought back the second one. All of this extra stuff was unnecessary. You could have put them on a stump. I do like the fact that it was simple. It was pretty good. And I was surprised at how it turned out. What was your guys' biggest takeaways and some of your opinions on today's elimination, rope burn?
Boring. Yet again, falling asleep with my eyes open. I literally was like, just wake me up when it's over. Because yay, it was on fire. It's the only thing that was like semi-interesting about it. And
you didn't take solace in the balancing ability and the strength and the mind games that come with trying to get this rope out of somebody's hand?
No. It was boring.
No, fuck that.
I think it was just visually boring. I think that's the problem.
You know what's crazy is like we all just skipped over this. They just did this elimination on All Stars. I don't know why we all just skipped over this. Like they just did it on All Stars.
Did they?
Yeah.
They?
Yeah, so yeah.
Which are you sure?
Yeah, with Katie. Katie was on it and yeah.
Yep. They did.
And Letarian and yeah.
I don't know.
There wasn't no fire though.
It wasn't no fire.
And were they on balls too?
And that's what we didn't remember.
They were on small bricks. So like both their feet couldn't like fully fit on it, but it kind of could. Mark was in it. He did it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But here's I'm trying to think of what the problem I have with this. A couple things I have a problem with. If you get to call out somebody into elimination, you should get to know exactly what the elimination is. Otherwise, don't let people because realistically, he called out Logan because he thought he could outmuscle him, but then it's a balancing game. That's not fair. That's the whole point of him calling somebody out, is because you think you can beat them in what you think you see. That's like realistic. I mean, think about it. Otherwise, we would never have like Fessy going down into Hall Brawl. Like they've got to know what it is. Otherwise, that element kind of makes me mad. The whole being on the balls thing, yeah, they were probably a little too far away. I really don't know how you could have made this better, except for making them hold 2 ropes. I think that's the only way it could have been a little bit better, because then we would see less just like of them just like twirling the rope in the same direction, and it would have been harder to see how it went. Yeah.
Double Dutch. There we go.
Yeah, but and I do think they should have been closer as well.
There's not a whole lot to make it better. And God, I hate.
They did it. They did it better with Jordan and Josh. That was the best way.
But check this out. And I hate to say it, but one of the things that made it so interesting to watch between Jordan and Josh was Jordan. Jordan made it interesting. He bought his commentary was great. Mm-hmm. He bought in the whole mind games. He made it all about the mind games. You wasn't even thinking about. I mean.
I was very involved when it was Jordan versus Josh. Yeah. He brought
his dominance and mastery over that elimination made it so interesting. And then you take somebody like that, and then you put in, Cory and Logan, and
2 of really the least interesting people.
Fun fact that Jordan versus Josh elimination actually made our top 20 eliminations of all time. You can check that here on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah, it's on part 1.
Absolutely. Check out youtube.lwcpodcast.com.
Fun fact. One more thing. The problem with this elimination is that it's tug of war. And tug of war is never that entertaining, except for that one elimination we said. And Squid Games. That's like the only way like you can make tug of war entertaining.
So somebody will die at the end of it?
No, I'm just saying like the whole like everybody do this and everybody like otherwise tug of war is boring.
But if you get a whole bunch of people, it could be interesting.
It's only interesting if you have somebody that's like a good character, like on Gauntlet 3 when it was like the rookies versus the vets. It was only interesting because like Evan is like making jokes and everything, and like CT's like in the back, and like Big Easy's just like an anchor, like let's go. Otherwise, it's not really that entertaining. You look at it and you're like, oh, the big guy's gonna win, but then they put him on balance and they go, hey, now the little guy's gonna win because it's all about balance. Like, I don't know.
Well.
I can tell you, Logan's getting on my nerves.
Well, as it turns out, Logan beats out Cory, skunked him 2-0. I was surprised too. I would have thought Cory would have had it in the bag, mainly because, dude, you've seen this elimination before. You got the muscles. You're pretty decent when it comes to balancing and shit. Yeah, you're kind of a meatball, but I was surprised that Logan was able to come away with this win. Did Logan skunking Cory in today's elimination surprise you guys?
Not really. No,
not in this elimination.
No, it's because it was on like a sphere. It was like too much. Like if it was on like a square, if it was like a square, like a flat standing board, and he beat Cory, I'd have been more impressed.
Yeah,
but like I mean, like one step and you could slip off yourself, and they could have done nothing. You could have just pulled too much, and then your right leg goes, and now you're screwed. Like that's all. So
I mean, you saw that almost happen to Cory the first time, where he fell on his ass because he messed up his footing. He was moving a little bit, and then all of a sudden he was like about to fall off the ball. And even Logan didn't even take advantage of that. Not smart.
Yeah,
but I mean, like Logan's from Survivor. People from Survivor, if they are on like Survivor for a while, like Emmy's is right. Like good contestants on Survivor are really good at these types of things that involve multiple aspects at a time. They're fantastic at them. Yep.
I mean, I got to give it to Logan. He was able to beat out Cory, somebody who has run many finals, and Josh said he ranks. Like I didn't really know. He
ranks in the top 3 when there's only 3 spots.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I didn't catch that because I was watching it.
It's late. Okay. You've missed nothing. So
thanks.
I looked at Logan it sideways when he said that too. I was like, of course he ranks in the top 3 because there's only usually 3 guys going into. I'm just not going to say
it. So, one of the most surprising things is Logan gets the win. And he says something about, I can't go to Ruby because somebody from that team went against me. I go to Sapphire, took Cal's spot. Fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous on all counts. The fact that Team Sapphire is still in place, it's mind-boggling. How has nobody infiltrated this team yet? They're winning every single time. You're still
Emerald,
going to
right?
other teams.
You said Sapphire.
Yeah. Well, he went to Sapphire. But why he didn't go to Emerald, it makes no sense. Stupid. This is some of the stupidest fucking gameplay that I can think of.
Emerald's never going to vote him in.
Yeah, but you want to go onto a winning team. But the thing is, he's never going to get voted in, but he's going to get called out. If you're
safe on another team.
Do you think he's not going to get called out every single time? I was like, go to Emerald.
He's 2-0 on eliminations. He's pretty good
yet again.
He's won a couple,
on third.
He's won a couple dailies.
The more you go in, the less likely you are to win.
Which some people commented below on our last podcast, and they kind of gave us
a couple of different people
that went into multiple. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I didn't see that. I got to check that out. That's dope. But at the same time, if it's me on that show, and I got to pick between Kyle, Nelson, CT, and Logan, I'm going Logan every time. That's an easy pick. That is an easy pick. You may be safe from Emerald, but you're not safe from everybody else.
And looking at the people that are left that he's going to go against, he's going to have a really rough go.
You know what I think? I think that Emerald is going to end up losing one on the guy's day, and they'll ask for Logan in. If they lose, if it's anybody but Josh, we'll call Logan in.
Yeah.
Right? Well, next episode is kind of... Devin will probably call out, if it's not physical, Nelson.
Well, it's a girl's next episode.
No, but he'll probably call out Nelson or like Emmanuel, I think.
Well, you know what? We're also overdue for a double elimination or a purge, so I wouldn't be surprised to see one any day now.
Well, we're not balanced, though. We're unbalanced now because we had a guys, so we have to have, right?
Yeah, we have a girls, but...
Is it 4-4-6? So we're at 14 people?
It's 4-4-6, yeah.
6.
You're right.
4-4-6,
so,
yeah.
Okay, so they could do a double elimination, get us down to 6 people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe they should just do 2 Royal Rumbles. You know? First person eliminated over the top rope. You're out.
All right.
Poor Big T.
Well, That's going to go ahead and do it for us. Next week, it does look like it's going to be exciting. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and kicking it with us. Make sure you catch us on YouTube at youtube.lwcpodcast.com. Also, make sure you cop all of your LWC podcast gear from shop.lwcpodcast.com. Make sure you check us out on our website at lwcpodcast.com. Dude, I think we maybe need to get like another URL or something. It's a lot of lwcpodcast.com. Check us out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spreaker. We're everywhere. Wherever your favorite podcast app, can't believe I fucked that up. Where your favorite podcast app, Love Word Challenges. Make sure you check us out at youtube.lwcpodcast.com. This episode should be up there first. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at lwcpodcast.com. That's the same for Facebook at facebook.com/lwcpodcast. And make sure you check us out on TikTok at Love Word Challenges. Did I miss anything, guys?
I think we are good.
I think we are good. Thank you guys so much for listening, spending time with us. That's going to do it for us. Once again, I am MTV Malik. He is Tyler at Lord Louder. She is Becky at Gift Master Bex. This is Love Word Challenges. Good night.